All right, we're back. Welcome to the Bob and Cory Show, where we help keep you up to date with the latest and current trends, technology, business, finance, marketing trends, and this show exists to help you improve your business, your daily life, and just to bring a smile to your face.
This is episode number
4.
Right.
Yeah, 4.
Thanks.
We actually have a technician now to listen to our audio, so we should sound much better.
Who is that technician, Bob?
Well, that technician is Morgan.
Morgan, say hi back there, Morgan.
Hey, how's it going?
He's taller than me, and he also has much more hair.
He's much smarter
both
than
of us.
we are when it comes
That's
to that
yeah.
kind of stuff.
All right. Well, this episode we want to kind of catch up on a number of different things. We have a lot to get to, and I want to mention that we mentioned in the very first episode of my book, The Renegade's Guide to Massage Therapy.
Yep, great book.
Which is funny because you guys are out there thinking, well, why would a massage therapist have anything to do with me? And my background's in marketing and business. Well, I mentioned how this photography group had picked up my book and was reading it for the business parts. I didn't tell you this, but they're asking me to, I'm going to be there speaking at the Bellevue event for the Washington State Convention on Business and Marketing, 2.5 hours on business. So,
And what do they do again?
they're photographers, professionals, and trying to build their businesses, and they're
Oh, I
asking
see.
me to come in and talk about how to help.
How'd they get a hold of your...
They bought it.
Bought your book?
Well, my photographer, Valerie
I got it.
Terrell, she mentioned it to them, and they started looking at that.
Oh, they wrote that?
Yeah.
Well,
so
congratulations.
that's kind of fun. So
Yeah, I think you should do that.
I'll have you
Be
stop by and
successful.
talk about money.
I
How to get more, because you can market,
get
but
more. I bum them out first.
You
And
gotta
then try to
charge.
encourage them.
So, topic of the day first, you wanted to mention something about money.
Oh, well, I was thinking about raising my debt ceiling.
Were you?
Yes.
How are you going to pay for that?
Well, that's what I was thinking about. If I raise it high enough, I'll use the debt to pay my ceiling. What do you think? I'm thinking I
think
need
that's
a
a
new
great
car.
theory.
My wife would like to have a new car.
I have a lot of friends that just want to call up their credit card companies and say, yeah, I should just raise my debt ceiling. And they say, no. But the government, they have different rules.
Yeah, it is interesting how they do it. But, getting back to in reality, we want to buy things, and sometimes we, whether it's a house or a car or something, we need debt sometimes, to pay
Right.
for that. And what is interesting, if you think about it, what if car lots never accepted debt? You had to come in and pay cash. How much would that car be?
Free?
Yeah, I mean, they'd have to lower the price of the car.
Right.
So debt obviously affects prices of things.
Right.
And when people don't pay their debt, that affects things too. So if somebody owed you $5,000 for your services in massage,
Right.
and they said to you, Bob, I'm sorry, I can't pay that, would that affect you buying me a nice birthday gift or going on vacation?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it affects, it does ripple down through everything when we don't do that. So last time I talked about debt, and everybody was supposed to itemize their debts
Right.
in order of highest interest rate to
Right.
lowest interest rate, regardless of the balance. And they were supposed to figure out their
Did you
net
do your
debt.
assignment?
Hopefully you guys did that.
I know I did because I budget daily.
So what we're trying to do is get you a spending plan going for the year, because we're in January still. We haven't hit into February. We want to get this going. So we want you to figure out what you net and get your debts figured out. And then we're going to order. I want you to put them in order from highest interest rate to lowest interest rate, and figure out what your minimum payment is on that. So what we're going to do is try to get you going on a couple things here. One, we want to get you going on savings. So if we don't get you saving anything, we're going to try to get you up to $500 to $1,000 as quick as you possibly can. Because if we don't get you saving anything, what are you going to do? You're going to pull out the credit card.
Right.
Okay? And, it's kind of interesting. So if you got $20 in your pocket, Bob, and on Monday,
Yeah.
and let's say that's supposed to be enough for you to go to lunch.
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe we'll make it $25.
You haven't
It's
seen me
interesting.
eat.
What will happen is that when you go to lunch,
Yeah.
you'll be more prone to take that card out on Monday and Tuesday because you're worried that you're not going to have enough cash for Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday.
Right.
Okay, so people are automatically wanting to use credit, and so what we're trying to do is get you back into a cash, what you actually have, not what you wished you had. And so once you figure out what you net, we're going to start saving some of that regardless. I don't care what it is. You guys make a commitment to try to save $500 to $1,000 within the next month or two.
Yeah.
Okay. And then in the meantime, you're going to pay your minimum payment on your debts. And then once you do that, then we're going to start paying more on the highest interest debt. And I'll show you how to allocate that.
That's some
pay that
people's
down.
budget just for their
Yeah, some
mopeds.
people are rolling their eyes and laughing right now, but you can no longer as a society we can no longer keep trying to rely on what we make is what we spend.
So save your mocha budget.
Because people don't do that. What we do is what we make plus what our debt ceiling is.
Yeah. You know, a friend of mine recently ordered at a coffee place something called a Venetian. And it's
Venetian coffee?
Yeah, it's a latte with brown sugar.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's great. Anyway, okay, well, I wanted to mention something that's new today. First of all, this is really short. I've been doing printing. He's probably going to watch this podcast and get ticked. I've been doing my Secrets of Deep Tissue. It's a seminar I do, and I get this printed book. It's basically printed by a local printer. He prints it out, and he staples it and folds it and trims it, and it costs me about $5 a book. Now, if you take my seminars, these are thousands of dollars. No, but it's $5 a book, right? So wholesale, my cost is $5. And so the company that's been doing my Renegade's Guide to Massage Therapy, which is Create Space. Yeah, don't pump the microphone. Keep it in front of me. Here we go. So the company that creates that, Create Space, makes my book. I just thought, for fun, I'm going to upload my manual and redo my cover, make it a little more flashy, and see what it costs to do through there. So we come into there, and for $5.68, including shipping, I get this beautiful manual. Same thing as the inside.
Wow.
And it's bound, and it's like this really nice book. And you lay it flat. You can, it's
so
awesome.
That's a before, and this is an after.
Yeah. Huge change.
Wow.
I'm thinking,
that's a lot different.
So, yeah. And so use
That's
Create
really
Space. I get no money by saying that, but dang. Yeah. So if you want to make a manual for your business, that kind of a thing, look into Create Space as being your. Now, if you want to buy it, I charge $200 for the book online on purpose because I want you to get the book as part of my seminar.
That's nice.
In
that
case
looks
it's free.
great.
So so CreateSpace is doing a great job. So today in the news, we have Facebook is trying to stay on top of things. They have this new thing called the graph search feature. And what it's going to do is allow not just Facebook users, but anybody to basically search everything inside of Facebook. But I could say, search everybody who's interested in, mountain climbing or Star Wars or whatever, and it'll show me all the things that come up under that search, and it searches everything from photographs to groups you're involved with, and it posts, and it's almost invasive. So you have to go through your privacy settings and make sure that if you're going to stay with Facebook, which I'm sure most people are, you need to make sure your privacy settings, you have to adjust those now because they've added a new feature. Though? Well, I don't know. They just announced it today, so keep your eyes on that because they're going to be a little bit invasive into your life.
Is it like to only friends, or will that not matter anymore?
Everybody.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about when they do the search. You know how you
yeah. You'll get more results from your friends, but even the things that we post as public and don't realize sometimes are available to anybody.
Yeah, that's
kind of strange.
That's getting out of hand.
Yeah. So more about debt. I was reading this thing, and okay, so I'm not sure how much time we got left. We're getting down. Yeah. Okay. So I'll keep this quick. But the government has the debt ceiling is based on creating dollars, right?
Right.
They're green on paper. But the Treasury, back in the 1997 Omnibus Consolidated Appropriations Act, said notwithstanding any other provision of the law, the Secretary of Treasury may mint and issue platinum coins in such quantity and in such variety as the Secretary determines to be appropriate. So they're actually considering making $1 trillion platinum coin.
We need 16 to 20 of them.
Which would take care of the problem because it's made of metal versus green paper.
Right.
Washington Post.
But that's what a lot of people think.
Dear God. So that's January 12th that came out about this platinum coin, and I just thought, wow.
Yeah. No, we have to get the ceiling.
I want one.
We have to get the debt under control. I mean, the most difficult is that people don't know how that affects you. And obviously debt, what I just told you, like the car situation, if debt raises prices. So if car lots had to only accept cash and not debt, then they would lower the prices of cars.
Right.
So this debt that keeps going up, it affects all of us, whether it be on food prices or energy prices or whatever. So we have to get a handle on that.
Yeah. A lot of people, I think, ask both of us for different perspectives about why businesses fail. And, of course, money's important because if they don't have money, that's typically what they call failure. So, but from your perspective, what do you have to bring?
Well, I did a search on why people think. I have an idea, obviously, why I think people or why businesses fail or startup businesses fail. And so what I did is I did a search to try to find out what, different, like the New York Post and Forbes and what they thought. And it was interesting to me what they wrote. And I tried to find some consistency because they all came up with 10 different reasons why.
And they're all 10 different?
No, they weren't all 10 different. I'm going to write down what I thought was consistent.
All right.
So one of them was they don't have a demand. There's not a demand for their product or service.
Right.
Okay. They didn't kind of figure out. They think it's a
Right.
good idea, but either nobody's going to buy it, or it's just a limited market.
Right.
The other one was the growth was too fast. So bigger's not always better, is what I try to tell people. Tracking finances, bookkeeping. It's not always going to your CPA to have your taxes done. That is the answer to your business. There's more to it than that.
It's a little late by
you
that
need
point.
you need to actually spend some more time with this. Debt, overspending.
Right.
Okay.
Or just raise your debt ceiling.
Yeah. A lack of capital, meaning they didn't go into business with really any money.
Right.
You know, they didn't plan, they didn't save it.
Right.
And poor location, which I think would be
That's a little
maybe
marketing.
restaurants.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
Location.
Yeah.
I think what else you should do, and they say location.
Right.
Bad business plan
Or none.
or none.
Yeah. Which is really, really common.
Fail to change with the times.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a lot of video stores out right now, isn't there? Okay. Bookstores are having troubles because you can download.
And they're going to go away too.
Music stores, oh man, there's a lot of them now, isn't there?
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously, if you have a
Tower
product or
records.
service, you have to be willing to change with the times.
Right.
Okay. Especially printers, they're having everything's going digital, so they
Right.
have to change. Lack of marketing plan, which I'd like you to talk about.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about wrong leaders, wrong partners,
Right.
wrong managers, that kind of thing.
Well, you mentioned there's no demand. A lot of people think I laugh when I drive down the street and it's like there's just a new teriyaki business, and it just says a big sign teriyaki. And it's like, oh, I have to stop and buy teriyaki. It's like they think they're a commodity. And so
Yeah.
they just pop it up. But oftentimes people just build a business and there's no demand for it. They just
Right.
think, geez, I do this really well. I should just make a business. But they haven't checked to see, does anybody want what they've got?
Right.
And that's pretty huge. And so if you build it, they will come is for movies. Yeah. That's
It's a good
Kevin
movie.
Costner thing.
Yeah,
But Field of Dreams, right?
Yeah. Restaurant of Dreams.
So, but
and
changing with the times too. I mean, for example, I started my vocational school 12 years ago. And I spent, at the time, $25,000 in advertising to market that business. I had $10,000 in billboards, $10,000 in local radio, and $5,000 in the local newspaper. And it was a success. And out of the gate, boom, I had a full class and things were great. If I did that same thing today, it wouldn't work. So if you're out there thinking, geez, Yellow Pages worked 20 years ago, I'm just going to keep putting my money into Yellow Pages, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You have to change with that because everything is constantly.
And Yellow Pages has become this where people don't really read the Yellow Pages, but the businesses are so upset that person's advertising that they want
Exactly.
to beat their advertising.
But you know who reads that book? If you're marketing to people 70 years old and older, use the Yellow Pages.
Yeah, I don't even know if they're. I mean, my 70-year-olds they're on the internet.
But
now,
big
so-
print. So
Yeah,
there's one. Another thing is, for example, photographers. They're kind of frustrated. So 20 years ago, if you wanted a good picture, you had to go to a nice photographer. They use an expensive Hasselblad camera, and they would put this print together. Well, now
Did you say Casablanca?
Hasselblad. It's expensive.
Hasselblad? Yeah, I knew that.
Let's say you're spending $25,000 to $50,000 for this camera, whatever the case is, and a lot of money is invested. But now you can go to Costco and you can buy yourself a camera that when you snap it all on its own takes a phenomenal picture.
Yeah, it does. I'm one of those.
But what it takes a picture of is not art. As far as understanding the rule of thirds.
Mine's art.
Do you understand what the rule of thirds are?
Mine's art.
Well, photographers do. About shading, about angles, about light, about how should the shadow be on your nose? Did you know what angle it should be on? So they know these things, and they can not only position you right, capture it, but also
what's
do
your
editing.
point?
My point is that a lot of times is that people out there as photographers, their mistake right now they're making is that they think that they're losing business because people are buying cameras, and what they're trying to advertise is the picture. And so Steve Vento, a local photographer, made a comment, which I've heard before, and that is, we're not selling drills, we're selling the hole. You don't sell the drill, you sell what it does. And so people call up and say, what do you charge to do a portrait? And if you answer that question, wrong answer. Because it's not about the cost, it's about what you're providing. So the first question isn't, $100 or $150. It's, what can you do for them? So if you don't know what makes you different in your business, if you keep yourself as a commodity versus a service that's unique, you're going to fail.
But that's the beauty of the internet, right? I mean, a web page. I mean, it can describe what makes you different,
Right.
And that's why I didn't like the Yellow Pages. Is just put your name and phone number.
Yeah.
And what I like about the internet is you can put video in there. It can describe what makes you different.
Right.
So that these are the reasons, and we can go through these some more of
We'll
with
keep
small
adding to these.
businesses of how to actually succeed. I mean,
Yeah.
people know kind of how you fail, and now they want to know, what do we got to do?
Well, my
to
entire
succeed?
seminar next week in the Caribbean, which I'm not telling you because it's too late,
Too
but
late.
it's just on marketing and business and how do you build that and what blunders do you not want to make.
Because they want to know where to put their money.
Right. But we're doing one in October.
Yeah, that'll be great. You know?
So come to the Caribbean in October. So that's it for this week. We have a lot of good information. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
We'll see.
Bye-bye. Cheers.